You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Wole and Glen are your hosts. Mo and Ray are out. Glen, what is good, my dude?
Man, nothing much, man. It's great. We're getting closer to the NFL draft. We're
Oh,
getting
man.
closer to the NFL draft. We're a couple of weeks away. I'm excited right now. You can smell football in the air. Watching a little USFL football. You just keep the juices flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Do you like USL football? Did you like it?
I liked it. I like to be.
Okay.
I like the. I just like football. I'm
Of course,
sorry.
I got you.
I like football. I like there being mic'd up. I like people getting the opportunity, the chance to showcase themselves.
I like that too.
And see what see who they can pan out and see where they can go to. So I like USFL football. Hopefully it sticks around. I mean, the crowds are not there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's hard. NFL.
It's hard. They're playing in big stadiums. So
I'm gonna ask you another question before we go into Commander talk. How does that work? USFL football, and then you got the XFL. Like, how will that? You have two. Like, how does that work? Are they around the same time? Like, how will that?
There will be the XFL comes in 2023.
Yeah.
So you got a year. But it just gives them a greater pull for The Rock. I'm saying The Rock, right? Because it's his organization.
Yeah, of course.
To pull from. Yeah. We know the XFL was picking up steam before the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic had to kill it. So give them opportunity to revamp, revitalize, and come back. So it has just gives people options.
Yeah.
I think you have options. They're gonna have to work TV deals out and work what comes on Sunday, which come on Saturday. So it's gonna be fun to watch in the next couple of years to see how the USFL and the XFL can coexist. And I guess it becomes, I don't want to say Saturday Night Wars, like wrestling Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, but actually, it's a lot going on now.
We might have started having Saturday Night Wars with football and what we're going to watch and keep up with. So it's going to be interesting next year.
Really, really will. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything with the urban sports scene. All right, man. And also make sure you subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, and the USS Urban Sports Scene YouTube channels as well. All right, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about Terry McLaurin possibly holding out. All right, Glenn. You know, this is like what's going on in the Twitter sphere. In the Twitter sphere, everybody's kind of panicking in the Twitter sphere right now. All right, it's been reported that Washington Commander wide receiver Terry McLaurin is skipping on-field workouts during off-season programs. Are you concerned that Scary Terry may not be here, or are you concerned he may hold out? Because the man, he wants the bag. He wants a new deal, man. Are you concerned?
I'm not concerned. It's off-season workouts. You want him to be there. He is a veteran. This would be his fourth year, I believe, with the Commanders in the league in general. Yeah. I'm not too concerned. He has an option. I'll be concerned if he doesn't show up at training camp. Right. That's when I'm concerned. Like closer we get to training camp, I'm not concerned about the first workout here. It's voluntary anyway. Can't make him come. I'm not concerned about that. When it gets to closer to training camp and Washington and him have not had any negotiation or deals, anything like that, I am concerned. He seems like he's a stand-up guy. He want to play for this organization and want to play for this team. When I'm thinking of him not coming to this camp, first thing in my mind really wasn't about money or any deal. People thought it was about money. Man, dog, he just lost a friend.
Facts. You know what?
Right? We'll talk. He just lost a friend, a guy he went to college with, a guy he was close with, coming to the league with. So again, it may not. People might say it's money, and it may sound like it's good, but it may not even be this at all. It may be the fact. You know what? I can't right now. I'm trying to handle myself and keep myself together because I lost somebody close to me. Right now, football is not important. We'll get to that when I have to be there. Right now, I need to get my mental right so I can perform on the field.
Do you think? Oh, that's a very good point. Do you think that they even think about it that way? Do you think that he can? Because it did, and we talked. I mean, if y'all listen to the Urban Sports Scene podcast, we talked about Dwayne Haskins passing. So I'll give him all the flowers, all praise to him. Rest in peace, and also, prayers out to his family and friends. But I know people want to look at me sideways for saying this, but it doesn't. I mean, you did raise an interesting point. Do you think that Terry McLaurin could feel a certain way of how this organization may have treated Dwayne, the people that are in power right now?
He could have. When you lose somebody tragically, we as fans thought about like, dang man, he didn't even get a decent run. As a fan, I thought about it. I can't say what Terry. I thought about it like, man, the organization didn't do right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even before he even passed away, I was like that. So when you got somebody who's close to him who knows who's on the inside, like Terry, and know all the ins and outs of what happened, know more than we do, that crosses your mind. That crosses your mind. If they did that to him, could it be to me? Could I be next? Am I a commodity? So I'm not saying that he's dwelling on that, but it's something that does cross a human being's mind when all these emotions and feelings are going on when you lose somebody that close. So he has a lot to think about. Like I said, if you're a Commanders fan, I'm not worried about Terry McLaurin. He's still under contract. He hasn't made that much money where he's going to hold out. It's about the bag, right? Yeah, he hasn't made that much money. Made that much money where he's going to hold out. He knows the organization has to honor another year of his contract. They can franchise tag him next year if he wants to, but I don't think they should do that.
They gotta stop doing that, man.
they gotta stop. They gotta stop doing that. And again, if the guy's saying that he wants to be in this organization, wants to be with this organization, and believe in this organization, get the deal done. What else does he? Let's be honest. And what else does he have to prove to this organization that he deserves the bag?
Agreed. I'm with you. He don't gotta prove anything. I feel. And then we talk about you're trying to build an organization. You're trying to build the team the right way. You're trying to build with players that can help build this program and get this program somewhere. We talk about character. I'm not the biggest fan of the term character, but this is a dude that has character and he is a dog. So he's a combination of two things that you're looking for. You have to resign this dude, and you may have to overpay, to be honest with you. Overpay to compare it to the numbers, right? Yeah. Sometimes you compare it to the numbers. I think we all as fans understand that Terry McLaurin is one of the better receivers in the NFL. You just have to give him a quarterback to throw in the football so you can see the stats, be the stats that he should have, right? The stats that he deserves to have. But he deserves the bag, and I'm with you. Like, I think this organization understands it. I think Ron understands it. I've heard from somebody I know who went to the Super Bowl and spoke to Ron Rivera, and he said that Rivera is all about Scary Terry. That's the one. If you want to pick a player that he favors, right? That's the player.
Yeah, and
it's not any other. It's not a defense. It's Scary. It's Terry McLaurin.
It is definitely is, and especially when you bring a guy like Carson Wentz in this year, right?
Yeah.
You bring Carson Wentz in this year. You want to give him the top quality receivers to throw to. At receivers, Washington still has some question marks, right? Cam Sims a question mark, right?
Yami Brown's a question mark.
Question mark.
Curtis Samuel is a correct question mark because of health. They're all, you're right.
The only stable thing on this offense receiver-wise is Terry McLaurin. So you want him and Carson Wentz to build some kind of cohesiveness and some camaraderie, some timing to get the timing and stuff down. You want them to become friends, in which they may be doing already anyway, because we already knew that him and Heineke was real close friends, right? They used to ride in together and hang out. So him and
Heineke were tight.
Yeah, they was tight. And we know Heineke's still with the organization. So it's a lot of things that we could be going on in Terry McLaurin's mind. Like, okay, seeing how the organization treated Heineke, right? I say this every week. I say every time we talk, they knew they was going to wait for Heineke when they started rolling out these Commander stuff, and he was not the face of the franchise, right?
They've been knew that, but that's okay though.
They've been knew that, right? They knew
he knew that too. I think he should have known that a while ago. But go ahead. Yeah,
he knew that, But we know if we talk the Washington Commanders right now, the two names that people talk about is Terry McLaurin and Chase Young. When you watch and you look at posters and you look at billboards, those two guys are the face of the franchise. Not saying they're the best players, right? Because you know how I feel about Chase.
Yeah. I hear you, bro.
I'm just saying. I think Jonathan Allen is a better defensive player. But as far as face of the franchise, you have the two Ohio State guys who are the face of the franchise, along with now Carson Wentz. They're starting to put his face out there a bunch more as well. So you need to give Terry McLaurin his stuff. And the guy has done nothing but produce. Look at the quarterbacks he's played with.
Exactly. He played with Alex Smith. No knock on Alex Smith, but that was a hurt version of Alex Smith. Alex Smith, Heineke, Allen, Kyle Allen.
Colt McCoy one year, right?
I'm sure, was it Cole? He had I'm sorry. I mean not no, he had what's his face? Shoot, what's his
Kyle Allen.
The weak arm quarterback too. Who was actually good for Minnesota. Ugh, I'm forgetting his name.
I know you're talking about.
Case Keenum. Sorry, there we go.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Dwayne Haskins, right? Dwayne Haskins. So he's had
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick. Well, yeah, for a little bit. Fitzpatrick. Yeah. All these, all like you mentioned, all these dudes and household names. Arguably the best quarterback he has had, healthy wise, is probably going to be the quarterback that's starting now, and Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Yeah. Though I make arguments, and people hate when I say that Alex Smith was probably the best. Alex Smith was probably like the best quarterback Washington had in a long time in terms of a winner. But yeah, I'm with you. Like it's time. Like the numbers he's put up with the quarterback play speaks for itself. That lets you know that the dude is elite talent. I don't think that they will. I'm not really I'm like you, Glenn. I'm not really concerned. I think he's going to be one of the highest paid receivers in football, and that people are going to question it because of the stats. But I think the people in the know, they know what he's about. Anytime you got people like he's not a household name, this is how you know he's not a household name, but you got the elite former wide receivers calling him out like he one of the best dudes out there. You know what I'm saying? You got people who talk about him, and you're like, yo, if you're not in this market, you're gonna be like scary. I mean, Terry McLaurin, like what he be doing? Like you're gonna question it. But in the market, but outside the market, you're going to question it. But that lets you know that these dudes paying attention to what damage this dude is doing, again, with limited quarterback play. Like the dude is a great route runner. He's fast. He is a legit 4.3. He gets yak yards. You know what I'm saying? He's a physical runner when he gets to football. So there's so many things about him that's kind of that's elite. Real talk. There's so many things that's elite with him.
Yeah. I mean, and you talking about if he played with a guy, and because Washington is a big market, they just don't have a winning program.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So talking about the market, you know what I mean? Like the market. In the market to recognize what he's doing. But
people on the West Coast are not talking about Terry McLaurin.
They're not.
Right. People in the Midwest are not talking about Terry McLaurin. Yeah, Washington didn't get that many primetime football games where everybody can talk. And plus, he's not playing with an Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. And his numbers aren't gaudy. They're not gaudy numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I definitely know what you were saying. I know. Yeah. And so, if he had played with a Aaron Rodgers or Tom,
oh my God, if he played with Aaron Rodgers, y'all talk. Do you think Devontae Adams puts up dumb numbers? If he played with Aaron Rodgers, this kid would be putting up dumb numbers.
And the catches he's making with the receivers he had, remember, it's short yard stuff, right?
Yes.
He couldn't throw down the field, so he's getting himself open. Even he made Dwayne Haskins look good. God bless his soul. With the things that Dwayne would throw up, Terry would go get
it. Yes.
To cover his butt, right? We know how. And so even with Alex Smith will find him and he will make things happen.
Yeah.
And that was his rookie season. He was just learning the game.
His rookie season was with Case Keenum. That was with Case Keenum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Second year was with Alex.
I believe not mistaken. His second year was his best year with Alex because he had 1,100 yards.
I think 11 11. It was that year or the year before. Yes, you're right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Because it'll be going to the fourth year. You're right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Totally right.
Yeah, like 1,100 yards with Alex Smith. So you can see what he can do with Alex Smith, give and take. Alex Smith is a number one draft pick.
Yeah, it's a veteran and a veteran.
So he knew what he was doing, and so he had a veteran quarterback who was smart, who was getting him the football, and so. He put up numbers. I believe Terry McLaurin will have his best season this year with Carson Wentz. That he's going to be able to put up the numbers that he needs to be in Washington, and Washington is going to do the right thing by giving him the money.
Yeah,
they know that.
And they should though.
They can do the right thing by giving him the money. And again, he's at the last year of his contract. They should take care of him by midseason and give him an extension.
I think they're going to do it after OTAs. I think that I think that and this is wild. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I didn't even think his season last year was that good. Okay, it's wild.
Well, that was a game where everybody started getting money. Scott Turner wanted. Well, I mentioned his name, not you. Scott wanted to make sure people got their
Glenn.
bread, right?
Thank you, saved me. Because I wasn't going to mention his name of the show. Thank you,
You
Glenn.
mention, I got it. I had to mention it because that was a game I remember because it was Terry had to get a certain amount of yards.
Oh, the last game of the year, right? You talking about the last game of the season?
They had to get their bread, and so did Antonio Gibson had to get so many yards so they get their bread, and so the money, the plays kept going to Gibson and McLaurin so they can get their money. And that's why
but to your point, like it's back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and can you really name the quarterback play that was really? I mean, what he had to deal with in those 3 years? He had 919 his rookie year, and then and it's like the respect we have for. He does it in a super elite level. It's like the respect we have for DeAndre Hopkins over the years when he was in Houston before he had Deshaun Watson, right? Yeah. It was like he was having like piss poor quarterback play, but this dude was still leading the league in yardage, receptions, because he was just that good, right? So you got the respect for him. Scary may not be DeAndre Hopkins good, but he's on that same level of respect. Like you gotta respect him because he's putting up numbers with quarterbacks that dudes wouldn't put up numbers with. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody love DJ Metcalf, but it's easy to put up numbers with DJ when you have a Russell Wilson as your quarterback. I think Devontae Adams is good, but let's see you do it without Aaron Rodgers. It's a little different. Stuff is easier. Not to say you can't put up numbers, but it's a little easier. World-breaking numbers are easier when you have an Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so some of these dudes, but to do it and to put up 1,000 yards, receiving yards for quarterback play that's bad, that shows you enough. I think he's gonna get the bag. I think he's gonna get a contract that's, it ain't gonna be like super crazy like a Devontae Adams, but it'll be something that, it will turn people's necks. They'll be like, people will say, "Dang." They'll be like, "Oh." But he deserves it. I think when you play that hard, you deserve it. When you play that hard, you deserve it.
You deserve it, and it also deserve, and then it also gives. We talk about the character thing or trust in players and rebuilding this organization and making this organization what it is. Pay players. You start paying players, people want to come to your organization.
Yes.
When you start paying players what they're worth and you start treating them right, people come. If Terry McLaurin somehow walks away from Washington and they don't get anything for him or they let him leave Washington, this organization won't be right for another 5, 6, 7 years because nobody's going to want to come here.
No, I'm with you. Like they won't
with this regime.
Yeah, you got to pay him if you want people to come here. You got to pay them. You got to show that you're doing them right, and you got to pay people. Like it's going to have to happen. Like if you're looking at an organization, they're not paying people. They're not going to want to come here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Washington fans. They're like they hated the Snyder, the beginning of Snyder. We used to pay for everything. Like if you were a shiny new toy or a shiny toy, he was trying to bring you to DC. But nowadays you have to pay.
Yeah,
you gotta pay to play.
You know what I'm saying? He had a good move when he wanted to buy the shiny toy. He just brought the toy when it was too late.
Yeah, too late. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Smith was out of his prime.
Those are the dumb ones. But I'm talking about like even a Josh Norman, right? Like year one, it was decent. Year one was good. Like people they try to ill on it, but year one was good. Like it was really good. But then year two after that, it was after that, it wasn't the same Josh Norman. But it was good year one. You can make the argument, he tried with, because he just came off an MVP kind of caliber year and Hainsworth, right?
Yeah.
But you can't always know. You don't always know how people react when they get the bag. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, Hainsworth crazy with the bag.
You get the bag, then it was like, hey, I don't need, the passion wasn't there no more. But you don't know that all the time. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. We can all ill on it happening. You can say it, but everybody wanted Albert Hainsworth when he was a free agent. Don't get it twisted. So, but just to go back to the topic, you know what I'm saying? What you're saying, I totally agree with you. If you don't, and to be honest with you, it's bad morale for your team, right? For your team. If you don't pay the people that deserve it, that if I see that Glen is working hard, Glen is the face of my team. Glen, everything that Glen is doing, he's the star, but he's doing all the extra work and he's trying to keep this team afloat. And I ain't paying him. Oh, bruh, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna when it's my time. I'm not gonna forget that.
And right, and you pay Cam, and I say this, and I don't mean no disrespect, but you pay Cam Sims, you need to pay Terry McLaurin.
Yes. Like if you know what, real talk, and this is the thing, like, yeah, there's no disrespect. No, and I'm with you. But if you're gonna be worried about pinching money, like, oh man, like I don't want to pay for like I don't know we got enough to do that. Dude, you shouldn't have offered you shouldn't have get Cam Sims that contract.
Yeah, you should have given
I don't
Cam
care if
Sims.
I don't even care if it's a million. That million should have went to Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That million, I don't care if whatever it is. I'm not trying to go on somebody's bag, but if you I think they re-signed Apke too.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just ill him. Same thing.
Same thing.
Like same thing. If you're worried about money when it comes to Terry McLaurin, I'm sure he voiced it already. He's voiced his concerns about it internally. It's not like this is a secret.
No.
So if you worried about pinching money, all that could be going somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because we all like those players that you mentioned. No disrespect, but in the world of the NFL, they're replaceable.
They're replaceable.
Like in the draft.
They're replaceable.
They're
They're
replaceable.
replaceable in a draft, or you get a savvy veteran.
A savvy vet. They're replaceable. Not that, and nobody disrespecting it. So in your mindset, what kind of contract you think Scary Terry could get? What he would get with Washington?
If I'm him, I'm looking at coming off of this deal. If they do it now, you give him a 3-year, maybe $75, $80 million.
Oh, for 3? Dang, that's a vicious deal.
But majority of that up front, though.
Up front? I mean, you wouldn't do 5? You wouldn't try to give him 5 because he's still relatively young.
You might, but at this day and age in NFL contracts, people getting that guaranteed money.
I know. Kirk Cousins is he killed the game.
Yeah, they're getting that guaranteed. So if you're an NFL team, you want to make sure it's in the front end. Well, you want to make sure it's in the back end, incentive base, but you give him a nice signing bonus, $20 million, $30 million signing bonus to make it honest. And now then you can space out the other 65 over 3 years to see. And he has to produce. Now, if you're Washington now that's from Terry's side. Yeah. If you're Washington side, you from the negotiating side, I'll let Terry play the season out.
Yeah.
And then I give him the bag at the end of the season.
Yeah, he ain't gonna wait though.
Yeah, he wouldn't wait, but from the player side, you want your money because any given Sunday could be your last Sunday.
Yeah,
could be your last Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying, but he ain't. It's OTAs. He ain't. If he don't get a deal in the offseason, he ain't playing. Like I can tell he ain't playing. That's just.
We can tell how based off of Washington's draft.
Yeah.
If they pick a receiver up.
They should pick a receiver up.
Well,
no. Never mind. I'm going back. I'm sticking to what I was saying. The best player.
Okay, best player.
The best player. And we'll talk. Yeah, best player available. At 11, I won't trade out of it. I'll take the best player available.
Yeah.
Whoever. I don't even, to your good point, Glenn, I don't even care if it's the defensive end. Take the best player available.
Hope Willis. Hope Willis is on the board at 11.
Yeah, huh?
Willis from Liberty.
Yeah, best player available. I'll take him too. Yeah. I'll take him. For everybody, I'm not. Depends on how high you are. Some people aren't high on Willis. They don't have to rate him that high. If you feel like he's the best player, my thing is that I like Willis, so I'm not saying it's me. I like Willis. I'm just saying whoever the best player is. I know Washington fans here, and we're gonna talk about this more next week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you know, like whoever the best player is, you get that player. I don't care if it's an inside linebacker. Don't even really care if it's a D tackle. Don't care if it's defensive end. Don't care if I don't care if it's a safety. Don't care if it's a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? It's funny that like people are saying cornerback is a big need, but a lot of folks were on Saint what's the name? St. Juice last year. And they know we got Willie Jackson, but y'all always saying cornerback is the big. I'm kind of trying to fill you guys out, but it is what it is. I mean, but again, if you LSU homeboy out there and dude from Cincinnati out there and they available and you think he's the best available player, get him. Because it's the time of just getting a player for need. You tried that last year. Just for need and Jamin Davis ain't work. So obviously that don't work for that way of thinking don't work for you. What may work for you is just get the best player. That way you know, hey, you're gonna have to find a way to make him play. Hey, people throw this out. Well, you got so-and-so. You already got this player. Yo, the Minnesota Vikings had Jake Reed and Chris Carter. They ain't need Randy Moss. No. They got Randy Moss. He's the best player available.
Hey, and I totally agree with that. You make comment. One thing we have not seen in this Washington organization in a long time has been a great competition for positions. I mean, I think because we saw it this year, the bench, the second team, the third team player wasn't ready.
They weren't ready.
They wasn't ready. So you need to have great competition so everybody he plays, everybody's pushing everybody to the next level so everybody can be ready.
The Cowboys got CeeDee Lamb. They didn't need CeeDee Lamb. They had Gallup. Was it Galloway? No, it was Gallup.
Yeah.
Gallup, and they had Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. They drafted CeeDee Lamb.
Best player available.
Best player available. Didn't matter. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really want to keep it a buck, the Bengals ain't really need Jamar Chase because they had Higgins, who had a good rookie year, and they already had Tyler Boyd, who's already putting up numbers. But Higgins was on the board. Best player available. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people thought they needed a tackle more. Like, they needed a tackle, right? I mean, they did need a tackle because you saw how many times old boy got hit. But still, but who is more impactful? But that kid Jamar Chase was impactful. Best player available.
Yeah, they told Joe Barrow, I know we need a tackle, but I just need you to throw the ball quicker.
Yeah.
We get your receiver, just get the ball out your hands.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So now you'll see Cincinnati this year go after a
tackle. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, right? So whatever it is, if it's a receiver that they get a receiver, that's fine. That's great. That's great. That's great for Scary. That's just great. You know what I mean? He needs that type of player. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they do it. Like you said, man, they get the best player available. Terry gets the deal signed, and Washington fans could be ecstatic. But we about to close this show out. Before we close out, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene. Also tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG at Urban Sports Scene and on IG at 1340 AM Fox Sports. Like our Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM Facebook pages. All right. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. You all have a blessed one. Appreciate the homie Glen as always. You know it. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. Deuces. Hey, Mega, lead us out, big homie.